Hi guys, thanks for joining me. So this is day 11. We are doing our volume day, our hypertrophy day. This is where we're really focusing on the volume. We're really focusing on trying to get that time under tension. We're really focusing on just trying to get that muscle growth. And obviously if we can try and get better with the form by getting the higher rep work done, that's also going to benefit our training too. So this is going to be our fourth session when it comes to our hypertrophy. If you're jumping in now, the first two sessions were slightly different. We kind of had like a superset sort of style where we were doing opposing muscle groups with longer rest periods. And although it was a good workout and it was effective and we did what we needed to do to get the volume in, had a good level of intensity to build muscle, the workout sessions were just far too long. So this one's going to follow like the third sort of session. And we're going to copy that where we're focusing on doing our compound sets, which is the same muscle groups back to back, to really build up that fatigue, to kind of build up that metabolic stress, because we're doing the high volume work. One of the ways in which we're going to drive the hypertrophy is basically go into time under tension, build up that metabolic stress, and possibly even go to failure to really build up that fatigue in the muscle. That's going to be the way we're going to be driving that. And obviously we're going to be doing the higher rep work with the sets of kind of higher volume sets to basically try and drive that. So this is going to follow the third session. And the other thing is about it, and the reason why I made the change is obviously the video, the first two sort of workouts, although I would be happy to do that workout, and I think it would be an effective workout for other people, it doesn't sort of make the best viewing for people because most people don't have over an hour and a half sort of time to be able to watch a video. So the main reason why the program changed and the workout changed was to shorten the video for you guys and make it a little bit easier viewing and take up less of your time. But it's also allowed me to kind of show you that there are also, even though we're after the same goal of basically trying to build muscle and we're using the route of higher volume, higher rep work, there are different approaches in which we can do that. And that's the fun thing about training. And it's a good thing really, because that allows us to make changes through preference to just switching things up because we've hit a plateau. There's many different ways in which we can kind of elicit that growth. And this is one of the ways in which we're doing it. And in a way, I kind of preferred it too, because it just means that we're sort of getting the workout done a little bit quicker as well, which again, I'm more of a fan of as well. So the way in which we did it was we did the pull-up straight into the inverted row. So the primary exercise there is obviously going to be the pull-up. This is our main workout. And going from a pull-up to a inverted row is kind of like a calisthenics version of doing a drop set. I'm still counting them as their own individual exercise and individual sets. So once we do the 3 sets, I'm still counting that as 3 sets of pulling or back, rear delts, biceps, forearms, and that sort of stuff, are pulling movements, but we're doing them kind of like a drop set. The second sort of exercise that we're doing, I'm not too fussed whether I make improvement there. It's not really my focus because that's kind of just a finisher movement. It's more to do with I'm hoping to make progress in the first movement. And obviously the thing is if I get stronger or my muscular endurance improves, the improvement I make is going to get exhibited in the first movement. And obviously then if I end up pushing myself harder, it's always going to have a knock-on effect on that second exercise. So obviously if I can improve on the second exercise, that's great. But sometimes a sign that I've improved on that second exercise is maybe because I've held a little bit in reserve in the first exercise. So my primary focus is the pull-up, getting better at the pull-up, pushing harder with the pull-up, and then the row is basically just a finisher to trying to finish off those movements and really build up that fatigue. The other thing that we kind of swapped from the first 2 workouts is obviously I was having 3 minutes rest because I was trying to put a real focus on performance leading to hypertrophy, with the idea that if I can push myself harder, either lifting heavier or higher intensity or do more volume in that given set, push myself harder, that will be a great way to sort of elicit that hypertrophic response. And it is still like that. However, by dropping the rest times between sets, it also will allow us to trigger that hypertrophic response by allowing us to build up that metabolic stress. The other major benefit of it is that it's also going to make the workouts shorter. So again, that was another reason. So we'll be doing 3 sets of that and then 2 minutes rest in between. Then we're going to go to our kind of pushing movement, which will be our dips. And obviously, because I find the bodyweight dip easier, I will be doing this as a banded version. So I'll be doing banded dips and then straight into push-ups. Again, I've got the push-up, the parallel bars set up next to the box because this is going to allow me to sort of jump up. And again, I've also got to be sort of conscious of filming. If I was to do dips here and something dropped to the floor, you probably wouldn't be able to see me do my push-ups. So I'm popping up here, legs up here, and then use the bars to do my push-ups on. The great thing as well about doing them on here, it's easier on the wrists, but now I can get a deeper range of motion. Again, this second exercise is more of a finisher. So I'm not too fussed whether I improve my reps, whether I'm going to be properly counting them and keeping track of the push-ups. It's not really a focus of mine. It's literally there as a finisher to the dip. The primary movement's obviously going to be the chin up or the pull up and the dip, and they're the movements that are obviously going to be helping to strengthen my workout, say A, which will be maybe my strength workout. The main exercises there are going to be the vertical pulling, so the pull up, the chin up, whatever, and the dip. So this is going to go hand in hand because we're getting in more reps, we're getting in volume, we're going to be getting better with the form, and if we can build some muscle and get stronger, that's also going to help there as well. So we'll be moving on to them, and then we're going to be kind of doing a leg. Don't know whether to do a tricep again. Basically, probably like to be a tricep, but we're just going to be having to overload the legs because the legs are a hard exercise when it comes to bodyweight training to really overload. So we're probably, I think last time we did the step ups into the Bulgarian split squats, if I remember rightly. I can't remember if one was weighted, one was weighted, but we end up doing like the exercises back to back with no rest. I think it was the step up into the Bulgarian split squat. And it was like, because obviously we're doing single leg work there, left leg, right leg, straight into the left leg, into the right leg, and then back across. So in a way, because it was unilateral work, going from one left leg to the right leg, each leg kind of got a rest period while the other one was working. So that's the other benefit of doing unilateral work, is that in a way you can kind of get away with not having any rest. By not having that proper dedicated rest, it allows us to really build up that fatigue in the muscle to really try and stress the legs. Again, if you're doing bodyweight stuff, you know, if you're not doing like your big compound lifts, it can be quite hard to really overload the legs because the legs are a lot stronger and have a lot more endurance than you really can give them credit for. So they can be quite a hard exercise to really, really hit hard. So that's what we'll be doing. Last time I did do a kind of like a quad set where it was just like the finisher movements, whether it will be biceps, triceps, I think it was hyper extensions and knee raises. Whether I add those on today's session, we'll see how the session goes, because today I am feeling pretty burnt out today. We've had a pretty busy couple days at work, and I must admit, I am feeling pretty fried from that. So I'm hoping to get this workout done, and I don't know if after doing all these movements, my arms are gonna have much energy left. I've been doing a lot of, not so much tricep, but I've been doing a lot of bicep work today, a lot of forearm work today. We've been lifting a lot of boxes today, and I would say, well, we had to do kind of a cleanup at work. So in the last day, we've had to move 3 tons worth of product. All of that's had to be lifted by hand. So my arm flexors are feeling pretty fatigued at the minute, especially after Monday session, because obviously on Monday session, if you watched, that would have been session, was that 11 or 10? Maybe, yeah, 10, I think. That was our strength session. We upped the weight of our weighted dips and chest to bar pull-ups. So again, everything has a knock-on effect. So today, I'm just hoping just to get through the workout, really make it intense, and kind of have a burnout. So I don't really feel like I need to do a warm-up set with the inverted rows. I'm just going to be doing a couple sets with the pull-up. And like last session, I really enjoyed doing the variety. And again, having a little bit of variety is going to be pretty good for getting a hypertrophic response of just switching up the grips. So the first set will be pull-ups, second set will be neutral grips, third set will be chin-ups. And I think, no, I think I'll just do the standard chin-ups. Sometimes when I do chin-ups, it irritates my wrist a little bit, so I've got these little other grips that I can use that kind of give you the chin-up grip without going fully there, that you can attach to the bar, and they're pretty cool to use. So that is the outline of today's workout. I think I was getting like sets of 10 last time, but I'm been reading a little bit more about hypertrophy, and I read a really interesting article, and it got me thinking about, you know, yes, I'm doing sets of 10, but I really want to exaggerate the eccentrics today. So I'm aware that my numbers are probably going to go down today, but I'm really going to focus on the eccentrics today. That's my focus. So I'm going to power up with speed, a pause, and then slowly lower down. Maybe a 2 to 3 second lower, slower than I would normally go. I would really want to exaggerate that because I'm seeing more and more work on gaining that hypertrophy, but also strength from a lot more eccentric loading, but specifically a loaded stretch. So I'm kind of thinking, screw the numbers. We're aiming for obviously 8 to 12, but I want to try and add that in because that's going to be a way in which we're going to progress it. So even if I don't get set to 10, you might look at that as a regression and have I got weaker or whatever. But because I'm not really focused on the numbers today, I'm more focused on hitting that muscle, building up that fatigue, going close to or hitting failure. Whatever rep range I do that on, I'm not too fussed. But if I can do the eccentrics, then I know that's really going to sort of get a really good response. And that is what I'm after today. So that is what's going to be the goal. With the dips, it's a little bit harder. I'm going to be doing mine with bands. So I might be actually doing some slow eccentrics. It's going to be easier with that because I'm going to be being pulled down. I'm actively going to have to fight the resistance bands on that. I was tempted to add a resistance band to the pull-ups, but I think just doing a load of eccentrics, I think is going to be enough today. I might, next session, possibly add in the bands. We'll see how we go. Right. I don't think I've got this workout planned in, no. So we're just going to do a normal workout, a free workout, just so it tracks my rest time, and we're going to crack straight into it. I might pull this one here a little bit, get my legs on the bar. Right, we ready? Let's go. Man, that was hard. Feel that in my lats. Oh, I think that was 9 then. I mean, I think last set's workout I did 10, but considering all those eccentrics, I'm actually pretty happy with that. My hands. My forearms felt that. Hand grip there with the calluses. Feel that on that grip. It's quite a thick grip on there with the. That was really hard. My plan was, I don't know if the first couple of reps were chest to bar, the first 2 or 3, but man, those eccentrics just sapped my strength. I was like, right, as long as I can get my chin clearly over the bar, I'm happy with that, but I could feel, especially at the bottom, huge stretch down here. I think I might have had 1 or 2 left in me. I think if I was just doing normal reps, I maybe had 3 left in the tank, possibly a 4th grinder, but with that eccentric, maybe a couple left in attack, and that's it. Again, really easy way to build up that fatigue and really stress the thing. But yeah, there's more and more stuff coming out now. That loaded stretch is a really, really great way to trigger a hypertrophic response. So again, that can be at the bottom of the dip. Again, the muscle is stretched at the bottom and it's under load. Again, great way of doing that. So more and more stuff's coming like that. So I'm thinking, after doing some reading, it's something I always advise you. Obviously it's cool to watch people on YouTube and all that sort of stuff, but you know, and some people will put out some of their information, but constantly trying to learn new stuff will be good, because there's always new stuff coming out when it comes to training. So that I found really interesting, and it's something I thought I'd definitely add into this session and we'll use going further into training. Because if you've got information on how to trigger more hypertrophy and to get stronger, why wouldn't you use that? Right, 2 minutes, done. Right, next set, neutral grip. If you haven't seen these, I have a review on them, the Ken Zui ones. I highly recommend them, but it allows me to turn this bar, allow me to do neutral grips. And neutral grips are really nice for doing chest to bar. Right, I was really conscious. Keep hitting that. I have to come back a little bit. If I got any more room that way. It's putting me off my set. Right, let's go. That's what we want to do. Power up, slowly lower down. Wow. Right in here, man. Wow. But yeah, this is just a pump out, but my forearm blown up. Oh. I think, because these are quite hard, I really want to get a good stretch at the bottom. Might use these. Are another pair of Ken Zui grips. These are quite cool. It kind of changes. If you have it this way, you kind of do pull-ups with that sort of grip, switch them around, and you can do chin-ups like that. It's a little bit easier on the wrist. But if I'm going to be getting a loaded stretch in the bottom, being in that position can be uncomfortable on the wrist. I don't want that to be a factor, so we use that for the final set. Just going to grab my glass of water. I know I made one, but I can't remember where I put it. But yeah, if you've never tried them before, give them a go. It'll be very, very humbling because your numbers will drop a lot. Again, the time and attention has dramatically increased. But when you're actively trying to slow yourself down, I'm not saying like do constant pauses, but slow it right down and really think about tensing as you're slow lowering. Most people will pull up and they let gravity pull them down, and they're missing out on half the rep. Where if you slow that down, a lot more stuff's coming out that we're stronger in the eccentric phase. Okay, and this is why for any of you that are trying to learn how to do the pull-up, they recommend doing negatives. Again, we're stronger in that range. Learning to have that control on that bit can really be a great way to get stronger and to build muscle. So if we're doing this, but then what we're going to be doing is coupling that. You don't want to get that super slow the entirety of the exercise. And some people do that if they're doing something that's far too easy. But being explosive on the concentric, getting those fast twitch fibers activating, and slowly lower it down. You're getting a really good combination of 2 of those phases and utilizing different speeds. Right, that's enough rest, enough talking. Last set. Let's really grind this one out. Oh, I can feel that already in the bottom. I feel like my forearm's burning out. Alright, come on. Thought I'd chuck in a negative in there. Why not? Oh man, right down here. Bit awkward to get into, but and then we're gonna pump through. Really focus on squeezing the shoulder blades together, activating those rear delts. My arms are burnt. Forearms. Man, that was hard. Done. See, 3 sets. Say again, so I'm into sort of like my minimalist style, and I know there's lots of people out there that are very much into high volume 15-20 set workouts, and there's a lot of bodybuilding style workouts like that. There are some with like that Mike Menzo ones where you're getting those people that are like 1 true set is all you need, go to absolute failure, and you know they're getting results from that. Again, like I said, there's lots of ways to skin a cat, lots of ways to create hypertrophy, but I'm very much like, call that 6 sets, let's say they were just 3 sets with a drop set. Let's just say that. How much work have I got in then in that short period of time? And I've burnt out my arms. Like, my arms are burnt, my back is really feeling. If I was then to do that, I think, right, I also want to do, you know, 3 other exercises for my back. I wonder if how far do we go before it starts becoming junk volume? I know sometimes if you're more advanced, sometimes you need the extra work and the extra volume to keep triggering growth, because obviously progress and growth gets harder and slower the further you've been training. But the majority of people that are jumping on, say, a bodybuilding style program haven't even built up a very good foundation, haven't even been training that long, and could still benefit from a sort of more of a minimalist sort of style training program. So you'll be surprised what you can get done in a short amount of time with only a few exercises if you employ some really good principles. Like I said, adding in the negatives there, the really slow eccentrics, it just fried my muscles there. They're fatigued. I built the fatigue in the muscle. I've got the burn. I've gone to failure. A couple different things there I've gone to really build up that trigger for hypertrophy, plus the shorter rest and building on that fatigue. That second exercise there, I didn't really need to do any rows. I was burnt out already. So, where is it? Red ones are there. Let me just quickly find my black band. So it's going to be banded dips. Again, create a figure of 8. Put your hands inside, flip it over, create a holster. Cool. I think that should be a pretty good distance. So here, similar principle, get the bulk of the work, the fatigue, really stress the muscle with the dip. Push up is the finisher. Let's crack into it. Oh, these eccentrics. I mean, with the band is. Wow. That was hard. I might have to go a little bit wider. We'll see. Hard. Yeah, these eccentric slow ones with the band, it's harder than that. Even though you have got gravity acting on you the whole time, the band just feels like it's extra pulling you back and you're having to fight that. Oh, I felt that, and then I said you can really get a deep stretch by doing that. Again, if you don't have a set of these and you're doing them, you'll get the same results from doing them on rings. You can go a lot deeper than the floor, get a really good stretch, and again, we're working on that loaded stretch to really stress the chest muscles. That's what we're after. And again, shorter rest, to build up that metabolic stress. You know, that kind of, that burn you feel, that pump. So that metabolites lactic acid, hydrogen ions, all these other like byproducts of glycolysis. Basically, we're using carbs for energy, and obviously it's the byproduct of that, and everything else, we're feeling that. So if we can not take too long of our rest, so we don't fully flush out that metabolic stress, metabolic waste, we keep hitting it, it doesn't fully empty, and then we can really start build up that burn, build up that pump. Again, use that as a way of triggering it. The nice thing about the 2 minutes, or even 90 seconds to 2 minutes, is it's enough time to get most of our energy back. If you're doing 60 seconds and less, you may not have enough energy to really push yourself. You may not have the strength to really go hard, so you may not be able to push yourself as hard of intensity or do as much volume in the set. But 90 seconds to 2 minutes in this sort of style, for like sort of trying to do that, is probably a good amount of rest where you can recover enough so you can still go hard, but you don't rest long enough that kind of build up of that metabolic stress doesn't start to sort of taper off and disappear. Not fully, but keep that fire going sort of thing. Right, second set. I'm gonna bring this in a bit. Kind of feel like I'm probably going a little bit too deep as well. God, definitely going more up right there. Really felt it in my tricep a lot more. Before I even start the push-ups, my chest. Oh man, it's hard. Really, really simple, really effective. Again, this is what we're going for. If this was like your primary workout, like for me, the primary workout in this program that I'm focused on making real progression is my strength workout. This sort of workout is more to do with just hitting that muscle, doing a good amount of volume, going close to hitting failure, just pushing my muscles, because then, again, I'm increasing my muscular endurance, hopefully get some hypertrophy, and obviously push myself to a degree. Like I said, if I can go a little bit harder, maybe get an extra rep, move to a harder progression, I'm gonna be getting progression now. Great. When it comes to that power workout, that I'm gonna be aiming for progression, like moving to a slightly heavier kettlebell, to maybe doing weighted stomach to bar pull-ups, or weighted burpee box jumps to move into a heavier sandbag. So there's progression there. I'll be increasing the thingy. But my primary workout in those is just getting the work done. And doing the movement is the performance that I want. So this one, it's getting that work done. The power one, it's just being explosive and doing the reps and getting stuff. I believe there'll be carryover or knockover effect. Plus it's just a fun, different way for me to train. Something that I haven't done before, that I want to have fun with and just experiment. It's kind of like I know some people that have talked about when they program their workouts, they want a day that they can just play around and do stuff, whether that's doing skills, handstand work, just a day to do stuff. That's sort of like my fun day that will hopefully have some carryover to other stuff. But primarily it's my strength day where I'm pushing. This one is pushing, but as long as I hit that failure, push myself in that regard, I'm happy with it. But like I said with this, really, really simple, but really, really effective. Like the pump I've got and the ache I've got, it's hard, but what we're after. So already, last set. I'm not envisioning very many reps. Doesn't matter. Let's push ourselves. This can be the problem as well when you go to failure, is that your reps can really taper off quick. So if you're again after strength gains and hitting a certain rep count and getting the work in, might not always be the best unless it's on your last set. But with this, I'm not really that fast. Oh, man. Can feel that. That was awesome. Thing as well is I know a lot of the body weight stuff I've done. I know why I've been feeling it a little bit harder as well. I weighed myself yesterday and I'm up to 14.9. So, little cat. If that's a kilo or two I've gained. Sadly, not all muscle, but it is what it is. All right. Let's get the base bench on the go. Really enjoying this bit of kit at the minute. Again, I have got a review on my channel, but we're doing Bulgarian split squats. Really, really nice and comfortable because it's got this little roller. If you have it like up on like a flat pad or a box, it's never the right height, and then it rubs on your feet, or you find that as you're trying to go down, your feet get stuck on the box. This is nice, it just rolls really well. So, similar to last time, it is one to the other. What I might do to make it a little bit more intense is I might do this one with a kettlebell, just to increase the intensity a little bit. What weight to go for? We'll just go with the 12. Again, we'll just try and get some volume in, some reps in. So, left foot, right foot, straight into left foot, right foot. And again, obviously that sounds obvious, but we could easily do right foot on here, straight onto right foot on here, and really build up fatigue in one leg. But I think that's probably going to be, you'll fatigue yourself so much that when it comes to the leg that you do second, you'll probably lack, and the one you really do first is probably going to get more direct work because your energy and focus is there. If I can alternate between the two, I can at least maintain sort of a more even level of intensity for sort of both legs. Right, let's go. one thing that sucks about unilateral work. Get a good set down and you realise you've got to do the same on the other side. But it's definitely good for highlighting weaknesses in each leg. Actually, bugger it, we'll mix it up. I'll stay here for the 3 sets, then go to the step up. It's the same thing. Oh wow. Oh, that's burning. High rep legs, man. Feels like cardio. Right. Right here for now. Have a quick drink. Then we're going to do the same. But on the step ups. That was harder than last time because I think last time I didn't have the kettlebell. It's only 12 kilos, but you think that over, it was a 3.5 minute set, it adds up. Oh, my legs. Again, did those, but with 25 kilo weight vest and the 12 kilos, and I was doing same movement. That was only 48 hours ago. Has a knock-on effect. Oh, feel it. Yeah, I like those, they're good. Nice thing about those again is you don't have to worry about, even though it's unilateral work, and benefit of unilateral work is working on your stability and balance. That one you are kind of, especially when you're holding the kettlebell, you're having to use your core to keep yourself stable. But it gives you enough support that if you have a lack of balance or stability, either for whatever reason, but in that case, due to fatigue and being tired, sometimes your form can go or your balance might limit you. You can still push yourself and get to that muscular fatigue without the balance or stability being an issue from you getting there, which I would possibly have if I was doing maybe like the step up with a weight and going to failure. My fatigue might stop my ability to be able to, you know, push further, because the balance and stability might start to go as you get more tired. All right, there's 2 minutes. Again, slightly different from last session, but last session we went from one to the other. This one, it was just direct hit that hard, while also a 12 kilo kettlebell. Push our legs hard, build up that fatigue. Now we're gonna do the same with a little bit of rest so we can maintain that performance and try and get that fatigue, build up that fatigue again, but now with this movement. So hopefully we'll do 10 on each leg, 3 sets, so another 60 reps. So we're looking at 120 obviously between the two together, or 60 reps a leg. So let's go. Come on then. He's been itching to get in the whole time. As soon as you shut a door, he wants to get in there. Man, that hurts. That's what I mean, that rest between each leg. What are you doing? Isn't enough to flush it out completely. So that fatigue doesn't fully go away. So when you start another set, you're already starting slightly pre-fatigued. So I'm starting to feel that burn after the 8th rep, 7th, 8th rep. It's a deep burn. Deep burn. Oh man, that was a 3 minute 50 set. Ouch. Alright guys, I have to love you and leave you. That was a session today. Hope you enjoyed it. Highly recommend giving it a go yourself. If you do, let me know how you get on down below. Make sure you like the video, subscribe for more, and I'll see you guys in the next one.